All right, it's time to talk about what's on everybody's mind, which of course are the movies that are currently on Netflix, most specifically The Rookie, starring Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen and Raul Julia. Do not forget that Raul Julia is the bad guy in The Rookie. Also, of course, Ice Road Revenge, starring Liam Neeson. And 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. That is what I'm assuming is on everybody's mind right now, because I just watched it, so I can only assume that you also just watched or rewatched the movies I just named. So let's go into the details of The Rookie with Clint Eastwood, Charlie Sheen, and Raul Julia. I was reading a review by Roger Ebert, which was saying that it clearly had a lot of money to spend. It clearly had a large budget, which I definitely agreed with. That was something I noticed. I was like, I mean, first of all, Clint Eastwood definitely got paid for that movie, you know? I don't know how well Raul Julia and Charlie Sheen were doing, but they got, you know, they definitely got paid too. I mean, you can only assume, right? Like, the amount of explosions in that movie for such a really bad movie. You know, I don't want to talk badly about movies that have been around for 35 years, but that's exactly what I'm doing. It is not a very good movie. It definitely has moments that I laughed at, but doesn't every movie have that? So what I'm trying to say is, if you haven't watched The Rookie with Clint Eastwood, Charlie Sheen, and Raul Julia, watch it knowing that it's going to be bad, knowing that it's going to be pretty awful. There's some characters that clearly have more scenes that just didn't make it into the movie. I'm very good at like reading where a movie's going, you know, knowing the psychology, but it's different with bad movies. With bad movies, you know, they are all over the place, which is, you know, it's fun for me not to know where the story is going. You know, you kind of think that the top cops have more to them than their one-dimensional, constantly saying son of a gun, but that's it. They just have a lot of scenes with them doing stuff like that. The other characters. To be fair, I still have 15 minutes left of the movie, so there could be, you know, eye-popping storyline turns that I am not aware of yet. But I don't know. I guess this is not a fair critique of the movie. I haven't watched it all the way through. It could truly tie up all the loose ends that I'm talking about, like Charlie Sheen's girlfriend just being left after being attacked by a guy who was pretending to be a lieutenant. Charlie Sheen drives through the front door on a motorcycle. And this is shortly after he burned down a bar that had also earlier in the movie beaten him up. The fight scene in the bar is so bad. Charlie Sheen picks up a pool stick and breaks it, and the guy's just like kind of waiting there for him to hit him with it, but then he hits another guy first, and then he hits the guy who was waiting there for him. Charlie Sheen does like a fire breather thing, where he pulls out a Zippo lighter, lights it, chugs some tequila, and then spits the tequila in the bartender's face with the Zippo lighter. So, and then Clint Eastwood also does a spit take of water into a girl's face. She's a bad guy. She's Raul Julia's girlfriend. They carry a silver bullet as a necklace. This is all actually happening in this movie. I'm not making this up. What else? There's a scene in the police station where, like, the chief is like, somebody go find Charlie Sheen. And then two cops are, like, about to walk away. He's like, you two. It's just random characters. And then those two cops find Charlie Sheen. But then Charlie Sheen realizes that the guy that his girlfriend thinks is a lieutenant is actually at the police station because those two cops told him. So they do serve a purpose. They do extend the plot so that Charlie Sheen can drive a motorcycle through a front door of a house. It's all over the place. And like Clint Eastwood's just tied to a office chair for a while. He's in a warehouse, but it's an office chair. You only realize that after he gets like thrown to the ground, and then he's able to get the office, like she pulls the office chair away from him, and then they get a stunt double. I'm assuming, I guess I don't know this for a fact, it could have been Clint Eastwood, but like he's got the handcuffs behind his back, and then he does the foot through so that now the handcuffs are in front of him. I mean, look, am I suggesting that Clint Eastwood would not be able to be flexible enough to do the handcuff thing behind your back, feet through it at the age of, how old was he in 1990? He must have been like 55 at least, right? He's pretty old now. He's like in his 90s. He was over 50. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, many of these questions might have been answered in the last 15 minutes of the movie. A character from 24. He was in the first 2 seasons of 24. He's been in many other movies, but this is what I always reference this actor. He's briefly in the movie. So in 24, season 2, he flies a plane to save Jack Bauer because he's been exposed to radiation anyway, and he only has like a few more hours anyway, whatever. So this actor's been in, he's also the adoptive father in Terminator 2. He gets the blade through the milk carton and through his head. What else is he in? I mean, I Googled his name before, so I can also say he's in Shanghai Noon. What else did I see he was in? He's in Barbed Wire with Pamela Anderson. So I've never actually seen Barbed Wire. I have to go see that. So that's what I'm going to leave you off on this one. Possibly before I finish the last 15 minutes of The Rookie, I'm going to watch Barbed Wire, because I just never had the opportunity to watch it when I was younger. And who doesn't love Pamela Anderson? Now, then, whenever. It doesn't matter. Going back to, I actually don't like Liam Neeson because he stole Pamela Anderson from me. Is it fair for me to say that? I'll be the judge. And I say, yes, it is fair. So Liam Neeson does have a funny line. I'll leave you off on this. I'll leave you off on me saying I'm going to leave you off on a lot of things. In Ice Road Revenge, I think that's the name of the movie, somebody like says something to Liam Neeson. He was like, oh, very nice American sarcasm. And then Liam Neeson says Irish sarcasm in an Irish accent. That was fun. That was funny to me. And then there's a scene where Liam Neeson, this one I watched all the way through to the end. It's not a very good movie, but it has moments that, I don't know, it's just, that movie was just so that they could film in Nepal the entire time. Because it's like set in the Himalayas. It starts off in South Dakota, but then it ends up in the Himalayas with an Australian bus driver. That's the movie. Anyway, I don't like Liam Neeson. Mostly because of Star Wars Episode 1. But he redeemed himself after that. But now he's back on my I don't like him list because he stole Pamela Anderson from me. Pamela Anderson from me. I had it all set up, and then he swoops in. But I'll watch Barbed Wire for the guy from 24 who is also in The Rookie, who is driving a plane. He never actually gets to fly the plane, but he's he's chasing Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood through like a cornfield in a plane, and ends up back on the runway and gets hit by another plane. And then there's like a far shot of the blown up plane where it's just like clearly there's nothing inside of it. Still had to have been expensive to do that, but oh man. Oh man. Raul Julia has some great lines in that movie. They are all about calling out each other's ethnicity in that movie. Raul Julia makes fun of the Italians, and then he makes fun of Clint Eastwood for both being Polish. What else? I feel like there's more. 47 Ronin, it was all right. It was okay. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion one way or another. There's still, I still haven't finished that one either. They just defeated the bad guys, but now they got to go back to their village because they like went against the word of the top samurai. I also saw The Naked Gun with Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. I liked it. Was it better than the originals? No. Was it worse than the originals? No. Watch the originals. They are non-stop slapstick comedy. It's not for everybody. Anyway, clearly that's what everybody's talking about right now on the street are Ice Road Revenge or Vengeance or something like that with Liam Neeson. Ronin or 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. The Rookie with Clint Eastwood, Charlie Sheen, Raul Julia, and the guy from 24 season 2 who flies the plane for Jack Bauer because he's been exposed to radiation. Also, the stepfather from Terminator 2, which is way less of an obscure reference. What else? What else? Oh, if you haven't seen it, see Screamboat. Screamboat. It's set on the Staten Island ferry. I highly recommend it. Also, watch The Big Hit with Lou Diamond Phillips, Mark Wahlberg. What's that guy's name? The father of Monica and Ross. What's his name? He was in MASH with Donald Sutherland. I believe I keep thinking his name is Eli, but I think that's his name in Ocean's 11. Ah! Bug. All right. That's enough of this.